me be heard? Oh, I still have the stream in the background. Oh no. I can hear the music twice. There we go. Okay. Apparently, yeah. Hello? Is it working? Is my voice is there? Okay. Oh, I know why my voice is low. 1 second. Well, let me fix that. It has been quite a while since we streamed. Yeah, so Discord call should go up. Let me turn you up in Discord if I can. Huh. Okay. Which one did you submit, Steam Tray? Oh, I remember which one you submitted. Not how it works. Not like at all. Can you guys hear metal at all? Just they see Claude's eye moving. Okay. Why is the Discord call not working? Where? Yeah, what? Huh. Okay then. That's weird. I'm just gonna make a new audio device and see if I can get you that way. Huh. Audio output capture. Let's try that. Yeah, it's been a long while since we actually did this, so okay then. That's weird. I'm just gonna make a new audio device and see if I can get you that way.
There's a limit. You can have a limit of how many people you sub to. That's crazy.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I mean, I'm not even close to 200 people, 2,000 people.
Let's see.
Oh, I heard myself a little bit now.
Yep.
Nope, that's you again.
So okay then. I'm gonna give it a second. I'm just gonna make a new audio device and see if I can.
Oh, I'm way louder than you.
Yep. Let me turn you down.
I'm way louder than you now.
Let me turn you.
Limit. You can have a limit of how many people you sub to.
I have fixed Metal's audio issue. I have simply made him.
Are you too low and I'm too high? 2,000 people.
As long as there's no like double up.
Oh, I heard myself a little bit now. It's repeating over and over. That's you again.
Oh, it's repeating. Okay, yeah, I see why. 1 second.
Oh,
I'm delete. Yep. It was looping. It was looping. You see, we can't have a stream without a little scuff. I haven't streamed in like 6 months. Let's see if I can do application audio capture. Yeah.
How's the volume? Does it sound like we're very far away? Because it sounds like we're very far away from me. But
try talking again?
Turn the music.
Okay.
I'm talking right now.
Okay.
I mean, me and you can hear each other fine, but on the stream it sounds like we're pretty low. So if you put us both up by like 20%, maybe it should be okay.
Yeah. I tried another thing. Let's see if this works. Keep talking.
Proves it live. Oh yeah, I'm still here doing stuff. Whoa! Hey, Jesus Christ, Kryptonite.
Holy shit. Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Also,
You're
of course,
crazy?
that
I'm
was the
pretty sure
first
you're crazy,
sound of yours that I'm pretty sure came through the mic.
Okay. How are you guys? We're trying to figure it out. Sorry. We should have tested this before, but this is classic GMD. You don't get the full experience if you do not see this. Still,
Did he
I
just?
feel like it's low, but
He just reverse pickpocketed us.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. The settings for this are the old settings from the Extra Life stream, so things are a little bit. Yeah.
If this is good, we'll move on. If it's not good, we'll turn it up a little higher.
Yeah. I need to personally turn Metal down a little bit in Discord because he's loud for me.
Yeah, you made a lot. Yeah, you put it for me too.
Okay.
No, that's fine. We should
No,
do
that-
an announcement.
We
Let me
should.
do that.
We should do that. Yeah.
I'll handle that.
Okay, you got it. So while he's doing that, for anyone who doesn't exactly know what's going on, I will tell you guys what we are up to. A while ago, during Extra Life, actually, we were unable to send off one of our packages, one of our winners, because of shipping reasons, international shipping and all. So we have that dice set left over, and we are going to be giving it away to whoever gave us not the best homebrew, because plenty of these are really good, but the one that we liked the most, really. You guys sent us top three, yeah. Well, top one is getting the thing. Number
top
two.
one's getting nice. Yeah, top 2 and 3 are getting a $25 gift card to wherever, as long as it's reasonable, we can do it.
Yeah, so like Amazon, GameStop. I don't know where else you'd want. Just
Food, right? I don't know.
Food, yeah. Yeah, but we've got, how many submissions do we have here?
18, 17, 16, something along those lines.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Oh, I think I missed one, actually. The one that came through email. Let me grab that one.
Yes. The very in-depth one, but missing a lot of connotation, but that's fine. But hello, thank you everybody stopping by.
Yeah.
We don't stream very often. We try to, but things are busy.
Yeah.
We'll be doing Extra Life again, though. So if you can wait another 6 months for another stream.
Like, I want to stream more. I really do. It's just...
Feedback from pros. Look, man, we're not any better than you guys are. We're just as regular.
Hey, guess it's Farrell. He's always here.
Farrell. He's never missed a stream somehow.
Oh, that's the announcement you put up. Okay.
I'm going to mute myself because I think we're doing well now. So
You gonna mute yourself?
we just have like a 20-second delay, but I'm good. No, I'm muting the stream so I don't have to hear it.
Yeah. I did that a minute ago. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get started here in just a second. Our first submission.
Yeah, we offered a little bit of critiquing. Man, stream is quieter than what I'm used to. I have to adjust my PC volume. Yeah, well, we wanted to turn it up, but we don't want to blast everyone's ears again.
I can make mine loud. Not
Well, no,
loud,
he said
just
both of
louder.
us.
I can
No,
probably
both
make
of
myself
us.
louder, too.
You are very low comparatively, but
Okay, well, there, I turned myself up.
yeah. So, anyways, back to this. I took some notes on everything. We weren't really looking to fix stuff. I mean, we did say some stuff that we had some concerns about, but again, it's just our opinion. Doesn't mean that it's, the end all be all. I think there's a lot here for people to discuss. I mean, even GMD, everything has his own group of taste testers in the thing that he has people check the builds and everything for. So it's always a community thing. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We do have our top 3. There was a lot of stuff here, a lot of interesting, very good stuff. Nothing that I don't think I saw anything that was too crazy and ridiculous. But
I mean,
there were some concerns.
yeah, there.
We'll get to that. We'll get to this.
We will get to there. We're gonna start with a submission by
Find it in my notes.
Arcanics 13. It's going
the Witchcraft sorcerer subclass.
Yes, let me pull up the actual image so that people can see it. I believe it is this one. Yes, here we go.
All right, let's see if it pops up on stream for me, so everyone can see it. Of course, I sound delayed compared to what they're seeing, but that's how it goes.
That is how it works.
Once I see it, I'll be good to continue here. This is a really long delay, man. Oh, there it is.
It's like 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. Okay.
Hello, Let Us Play. I didn't see you there. Okay.
Let Us Play. That's a great name.
Let Us Play. How many people do we have right now?
If he's not a Let's Player, he's missing out.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, all right, cool. So, which themed sorcerer, which pun, which hasn't been done really. There's some stuff there.
Yeah, I think they did release a lineage you could play that was like hey, you got kidnapped by a hag when you were a kid, and you have weird powers now. But it wasn't a subclass; it was just a lineage to give you a few weird things. So definitely a unique option to go with. I like the theme of it already, just from the idea.
Yeah, we definitely liked the theme a lot. Very witchy themed. Everything seemed really appropriate as far as like you're just a quiet person.
Nope. Streamlabs, please cooperate. Let me adjust the stuff in here real quick. It's all max. I don't know why it's being quiet. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, Hexblood. That's what it was called.
Hexblood. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So we liked it. It was very witchy themed, which we're looking for. So our criteria for this was basically like, does the class make or subclass or the item make sense? Like, is this something that feels needed? And if it do you follow a similar theme? Does everything feel appropriate? Does anything feel like it shouldn't be there? Is there an expiration for this type of thing? How well is it put together? And also, really, the biggest thing for us was, is it fun?
Yeah.
That was a massive factor in deciding who won here. Was it fun? There's definitely some really good stuff that I just felt like was really well designed and wouldn't have been super fun. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. There's some others that, like, at least for me, is cohesion of the subclass. I like there to be a solid, through line for, okay, I do this thing really good, and if that's a big thing for me. I don't like things to jump around too much and not work together. Anyway.
Yeah, that was as Lettuce pointed out. Being able to swap any spell list we worried about. That's our first point here, is that I think Warlock or Sorcerer is fine, but Wizard has like almost every spell available to them, so we're thinking maybe just the Sorcerer and Warlock abilities.
Yeah, the base spells here are fine, and just swapping between Warlock and Sorcerer is fine. But yeah, like Mel said, Wizard has so much available to it.
Yeah, it ends up making this a little bit too much, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. And then the Witch's Brew, we had a little imbalanced. We were thinking making it a ritual spell. I don't have everything on my screen here. I'm just kind of doing it based off of memory, where he has it in front of him. But
the Witch's Brew has the potential for a lot of healing for relatively low cost. It does take out some of your action economy to use because you're making potions rather than just like, hey, you're healed. So my throat's been real scratchy lately with spring happening, so I'll be... Yeah.
There was another class that can make some sort of potion, right?
Is there? I thought it was this one.
No, not from our homebrew. I mean, like, legitimately.
Yeah, so the Alchemist Artificer gets to make a random potion every morning.
Yeah, random. And these are very high. And at one spell slot, we were thinking maybe what does it say here? A third level or higher should be specified for greater healing.
Yeah.
As it says, with the feature being able to be used every short rest, you potentially have 5 potions for every combat from level 6 onward, which is a lot since they don't go away. I don't think.
I think they do. The potions last until you use this feature again, or until you finish a long rest.
Right, but you could essentially just you have that many for 8 hours. Yeah, or sell them real quick and then just leave.
Good old committing fraud.
But it's fun. I really like this. The broom is great. The different modes are cool.
Yes, the Hexenbessen.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. Starting level 14, you gain a broom of flying. So it just gives you a magical item, which, yeah, that's fine. Broom of flying isn't.
Yeah, I think it's
broken.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to resummon it very often, so the 1 hour casting time is really as needed, which shouldn't be often. So I think that's pretty great.
I also really like the different forms they gave for it.
Oh yeah.
That compromise different things, but give you more of a, like, if you want to just go fast, you can go fast.
What's the ritual be from any class? I don't remember. I think we talked about the rituals, but we couldn't find a ritual spell that was too crazy, if I remember correctly.
So the ritual spells are... They take, 10 minutes to cast, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, that one is a bit much because there's so many ritual spells from other classes. I would recommend letting you pick, 1 or 2 classes to take rituals from, but yeah, we're just going over them right now. We didn't really rate them too much outside of the top 3, Farrell, because most of the ones here we just liked overall. Like there's some issues with each of them that we talked about, like the too many spells from the wizard and so on.
Yeah, nothing has a grade. We're not really. We obviously had a semi ranking for ourselves to know what we liked and where we're going to put the top 3, but we don't really feel it's fair to just go, oh yeah, this is this. We're just one opinion on it, so that's all that matters. I do really like this. Like I said, the broom was good. Final feature is great, but adding +3 to charisma checks seems kind of pointless for the feature to be something.
Yeah,
+3 to charisma, intelligence, and wisdom.
Coven of 1 is the last feature.
Oh yeah, I think charisma checks is a very weird specific thing for your final feature, so we figured it maybe be a bit better with a +3 charisma, intelligence, and wisdom saving throws, which would make you a lot better in the moment.
Yeah, which might be what they meant. I'm not sure, but they did put checks.
Yeah,
so that's what I went with. Because just checks in the middle of combat, especially charisma checks, aren't really all that common. Unless you're doing an intimidation, which could work.
Yeah. But no, this was I think the first thing that we read. It was a very good start, and if it was, I was a little worried that if they were all this good, it was going to be very difficult to. Well, that sounds like they weren't all this good, but you know what I mean. This was very clean, very easy, and if it was all just pretty solid stuff, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. This was really good though. Unfortunately, it was not the top 3. But it was really close, actually. This was one of our tops. It just wasn't top 3.
Yeah. Do I go? So the next one I have on my tabs is the one we got through email from.
I say we'll put that off a little later.
Okay. So then next one would be the Spectral Domain Cleric.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I remember this one. So this was a different, not a domain of death, which I think is so I'm not as versed in the true, what's the word for it? the actual classes and subclasses and stuff. There's a lot I don't remember, but
yeah,
I think there's a domain of death, cleric.
There's a domain of death and there is a domain of the grave.
And this is another kind of undead thing, which, and I think that's what our biggest problem with it is that I'm not sure why it doesn't seem to have. Let's see.
Oh, by the way, this is by Overlord 9696.
Overlord 9696. Yes, sorry. Spectral domain cleric subclass. Let's see. I got Presence of Death. It's a free 15-foot radial fear that doesn't have an expiration and you can apply it again and again.
Oh yeah, that's the level 6 feature.
Well, they'll all be here. They'll definitely all be here. We're not. We didn't leave anyone out. We won't. Okay, we technically left one person out for a very specific reason, and it's nothing against them. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, there was one person who submitted something. Is like, I don't.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the fear thing really is really worrying because you can just keep doing it. There's no cost, and if someone beats it, you can just do it again, and there's no like immunity to it. It's just continuous fear in a 30-foot radius and a con save. Usually, fear things are related to wisdom.
Wisdom saves, yeah.
So we would say 1 minute duration, concentration, and you can use the first level to reactivate it. And once a creature passes, they don't have to remake the save unless they exit and re-enter. It adds a lot of things to it, but it is pretty. It's just let me see if it on stream here.
Presence of death, yeah.
It's just there, and you don't even have to activate it. It's just there.
It also does kind of mean like
there.
if anyone was to try to sneak up on you, and you were asleep, they would just instantly be feared the moment they got close.
Yeah, it's a little too much, just too much.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's stuff that's immune to fear, but you know, it's pretty good. But it's still not too bad. I don't think with a little bit of extra work there. There's not really a whole lot to say about this. It's pretty decent. I think we don't have a problem with the subclass features individually, really, but we don't really feel like they work together.
Yeah.
There's some themes, but some features focus on you being long range and spell casting, while other features focus on you being up close and doing melee. Even the final feature picks one of the two. So it's kind of weird. Most subclasses kind of do one thing and they work together. This has a lot of thematically relevant features and spells, but nothing that has like. It doesn't feel like it works together with itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like if you could have really leaned... I don't know if the person who made this one is here in the chat. If they are, you could have really leaned more into the whole fear aspect, because the death domain is just killing you and undead, and the grave domain is anti-undead. I feel like this one really could have... Really could have gone with the fear aspect. And
like a fear of death. Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Divine
and
Strike...
that fear ability is really good. It's just...
Yeah. Divine Strike I don't like with this one because this is the melee option for clerics, is you now deal more damage with your melee attacks instead of potent spellcasting. I've made my complaints about Divine Strike and potent spellcasting on the previous channel. I don't like that they're a subclass feature. But yeah, that's my real only complaint with this is it doesn't, like I mentioned before, it doesn't seem to have a consistent theme of the actual abilities. Otherwise, like, the individual stuff is fine.
Yeah, legitimately, we only had the thing with the presence of death, and then there's no other notes of any negativity or anything. Just it feels a little eclectic, which is fine because now you can kind of pick one that you feel like will be better, and again, just an opinion. So it was good. I liked it too.
And that was by the
interesting
Overlord, right? Yes.
Overlord 9696.
Apparently his name is Ash White. He is here. Unless that's someone's announcing their presence in the stream. That might also
possible.
be
I don't know.
50-50.
Oh, let's move on, anyways.
Okay, moving on. We have. Oh God. So this is the dog. It's the dog.
Okay. Which?
So let me grab it on here real quick. This is by in our Discord server. His name is just Knife.
Oh, this is okay. Cynocephaly.
Yes.
Okay, that's how I pronounce that. By Knife.
So this is a race of dog-headed people, which we don't have.
Which is needed. There's not really a lot of dogs unless you count kobolds, which
I went over that.
Our version of D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch my Kingdom
Hearts video for sure. Yeah.
My thing on that. It is a racial option, made for old 5e, so this still has the stat increases on your racial thing and subrace. We didn't really take that into account too much here, but
yeah, I didn't worry about lore. I didn't worry about spelling or formatting. That's just not fair. No. Yeah. The only thing I had about the lore was that the alignment says that they tend to lean to extremes, but then they said most are normal, which is kind of the opposite of what that means.
Yeah, it's that part is
Right there, tender
contradictory,
extremes, and they make sides choice for one side or the other, but they're neutral.
but they're
It's like
neutral.
that's not really
And,
what an extreme
and
is,
there's this line.
unless they meant neutral good or neutral evil. But that's still kind of the middle of the.
Yeah.
That's
The
all. That was one thing.
Yeah. The only other issue I have with the base, so not including the sub races, is the only special thing they get. They get perception, and that's fine, and they have a 35 walking speed. But there's nothing else special about them as a base.
Well, they can smell where undead are based on walking speed, which is very odd.
Is that? I thought, that's in one of the subclasses or the sub races. That's not in the
Is it?
base. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you meant the base. I thought we were moving
Yeah.
on.
No.
My bad.
Yeah. The base is only increased speed and better smelling and hearing. Kenra? I don't know about the Kedra. You know, it was a thing. These
I didn't know either. Yeah.
Yeah, the sub races are a bit weird for me. The Anubian, I think is the right way to say it for like Anubis dog.
Yeah, Nubian. Yeah.
Anubian. They get the Spare the Dying cantrip, which is fine. Getting some spells is fine. Cure Wounds and Gentle Repose also fine if you're going for like a you know kind of healing. You know, Spare the Dying stops you from dying. Cure Wounds heals you. Gentle Repose stops you from becoming an undead. That's fine. But yeah, the Grave Knowledge, can detect any undead within your walking speed is odd. It's just an odd way to measure it.
It should just be like we said, just detect good and evil up to your proficiency, only for undead.
Yeah. Or locate creature or something like that.
Yeah. And then so the problem, that one's fine. Well, besides that one thing, the third dex increase, I'm pretty sure is just not allowed.
So if we're going by the old of 2014, where you get a +2 and then a +1 from your sub race, I don't think they ever did a +2 and a +1 that were the same stat. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Not a big issue. If your DM doesn't care, I wouldn't care either. But just a note there for you technically get a +3 to
It's
dex.
easy enough ways around it, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a +3 was just crazy.
I don't really like the forest shadows though as a whole, because they get proficiency in longbows, short bows, and spears, which is fine. But again, the only thing they get is pack tactics.
Which is pretty. So it's busted in a normal party if you're counting any ally. Pack Tactics is really broken and is the bane of new beginners playing.
Get surrounded by wolves.
That'll end the game. Yeah, that's it. Just it's the end of it. It's very tough, and it's going to be. It's just better. Like even a lot of DMs don't even do flanking, which is just get behind the opponent for 5. So just having advantage anywhere within 5 feet is a lot.
Yeah, the old version.
Especially if you decide to play a rogue or something, like you could.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
The old version of the rogue had, or not the rogue, the kobold had pack tactics, and they took it away because it's a bit busted.
We also happened to look at the wolf stat block and saw a lot of similarities between a wolf and this class. And we just want to let you know, or not class, but this race, and that the monsters tend to be a little stronger just because they're usually fighting an entire party.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that, and so my issue with the Darkland Hunters isn't really an issue, except that they're just forest shadows, but better. Because they also get pack tactics. And then they also get a bite, a natural weapon in the form of a bite, and a bonus action where they can run
and chase down.
creatures.
They have something called chase down, which I really liked.
Yeah, I like it. The only issue is it's just a better forest shadows. That's it. Like why would you pick forest shadows aside of like flavor or character reasons? That's fine. When you could play a Darkland Hunter and get the same stuff, but better.
I definitely think you can get something like Pack Tactics, just like Pack Tactics Light. I'm not sure what it would be, but like maybe a bonus to a roll or something, like a +1 or something small. Maybe it goes up as you level up or something. It's just pack tactics seems too much. I think I do like the idea of like the, building the pack and getting together and trusting your allies so that you can do stuff. But just the pack tactics is just too much.
Yeah. Oh, no, Ash, wait. Yeah, we weren't trying to riff on your thing or anything.
Death Priest that wanted more ghostly and actually interact with those if it sounds like that, apologies. Definitely not. Like, never what I intend ever.
Trust me, when I was making all the homebrews on the Game Master's Domain channel, you never saw the first draft of any of those.
Yeah.
You saw like the 4th or 5th draft.
Well, and yeah, that's the thing is when we do a video, the thing I love the most is when people are like, "Oh, actually, this is what happened. Here's the lore for this." Like, I love learning things, and I love being wrong. I mean, I don't know if that's the right word putting that, but like, as long as you're polite and stuff like that, no, tell us what your opinions are. Tell us, that you would have done something different way. Tell us that, this was incorrect, and that, like, it's fine. We learned so much more that way, about so much, and it just love to hear from the crowd and stuff like that. So.
What's your Jesus? Yeah, that was your first attempt. That cleric is really good for a first attempt, though.
First attempt? That's wild. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't judge it that way, but that was really well done for very first time doing something.
I don't want to go promoting my own stuff here. I do have a video on the old channel of my guide to Homebrew.
It's true.
If you want to go watch that.
That's true. The old channel doesn't really help us out anymore, but thanks, YouTube.
I could re-upload.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube algorithms are hard, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys being here.
Anyway,
that's all.
Yeah, I don't have any big issues with the dog race here. They're dog boys. That's fine. It's just they seem to have, again with the issue of the Forest Shadows and the Darkland Hunters. I feel like they could be a bit more unique, since right now they don't really seem super, like, not competitive. That's not the right word, but
well, they're really competitive right now with pack tactics.
Well, yeah, but outside of pack tactics, not including pack tactics. I think they could just have a bit more stuff given to them. If you want to take away pack tactics, give them something else that's similar but not quite as strong. Because
I definitely think they could use something like that, and we definitely need more dog races for sure. So it definitely has a place.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't in our top 3, but I could have used this for Goofy if it existed.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. Next, we have. Okay, this is. Let me double check the. Okay, we're gonna save that one. Do we want to do the Cole Williams one now?
I'm sorry. The email.
The email, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, so.
This one is tough. So this is Cole W, the only one who sent us through email, which was also valid. It is a boss encounter, but we didn't have any information on this. We were just given it, and we originally had asked for 1 submission, which we still wanted, and it was 2 characters, and we didn't realize it was a tandem boss fight. So we picked one at random and was like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
It's really well designed, but they both can do a million things. I think this. So here's my take on it. It's a I'm assuming a husband-wife duo. If you've ever watched Critical Role, it really reminded me of. Huh?
You cut out for a second, but you're fine now.
If I cut out for you, doesn't mean I cut out for them.
I mean, I think it does, because you're coming through Discord.
I don't know. Anyways, if you've ever watched Critical Role, and you think of Cyrus and Delilah, I think that's what their names were. The vampires. This feels sort of like that, sort of like a together husband and wife evil duo, but they are very strong. Challenge level 20, which makes me think it's the BBEG. The problem is that there's so much here.
A lot.
We don't know if it's based on anything in particular. And I do think it would be a good idea, but there's a lot that would need to be done. If this was the boss I fought for my campaign, the final of my campaign, I don't know if I would remember it well or think of it fondly, because it's a lot of rebirth. I think the lady can re-heal the guy like 7 times from death.
He also has his own healing, his own way of just saying, nope, I don't die.
I think the only thing I would change for this is I think it's fine if it's part of a campaign, so you learn to hate these people. They're messing with you. Again, same idea. They mess with your families or things like that and do things. But you have to find an item, right, that maybe cuts out the healing or stops some of their spells. Like it would be like, okay, you can go fight them, but it's going to be miserable. Or you can find this thing that they're significantly weak to that'll help even the odds. Because a lot of these abilities are just like just coming back to life, coming back at half health, replenishing half his health over and over, temporary HP, your resistance to it's a lot.
And we don't have the other half on here, but she does get to go. Oh, he goes down, shunk, he's healed again.
Yeah, it's automatic too. It's not even like a chance of it.
Also, this part just bothers me. The math doesn't math here. He's got 22 strength for a +6, strength saving throws of +12, so his proficiency bonus is +6, and his attack roll with his greatsword is +9.
I think they were trying to make him weaker because they realized they had so many abilities. He has really low AC and HP for a challenge level 20. His HP isn't the average roll. We wrote all that down, but
he's also really fast. 55.
He's really fast. Yeah, she has a ton of healing, death prevention, AC increased, and a lot of things that each can do. It's not that I do think that this could be a fun end game. But you need something to even the odds, because if you're just fighting this out, it's going to be a 6-hour fight. And really, really obnoxious, yeah.
You need some form of counterplay that you work towards as a goal, and then you go fight them, or they come and fight you.
Yeah. I definitely like it. There's definitely a lot of thought. I don't know if it's based off of anything in particular, but I definitely like the idea, especially as long as these guys don't just show up. Which is not usually how people run a campaign, but it definitely feels like, maybe you should fight one of them and then fight the other, then you fight them together, and like there just needs to, yeah, I think there's a spot, but there definitely needs to be like, we're so obnoxious, we're gonna wear you down, and then you're like, not with the staff of or whatever, and they're like, how did you, and then it's kind of like evens the odds, Just think of Ganon in Legend of Zelda, where you could certainly fight him immediately, or you could fight the 4 Divine Beast, and then he takes out half his health, and it makes it a little easier. That's what I feel like this fight needs, or else it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, not all subclasses. We've got a few. It is mostly subclasses, but
we got a little bit of everything. Honestly, we did get a little bit of everything. Well, subclasses is just the easiest, makes the most sense. It's harder to do a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest problem with me was just the slog that this would be, and if I had to fight this, it would make me hate the rest of the campaign. It's pretty good without knowing anything else if we have an equalizer and a great, like, these people seem really interesting, really great, abilities for a story. I just don't know the story along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not that bad. They have a lot that they can do. I assume they're not going to try to do it all. This seems like a DM nightmare to try to balance everything on 2 different characters. But I definitely see a place for it in a campaign as a BBEG with one caveat. But I do like it. This is like a boss fight, so this is definitely one of the more unique submissions.
I also forgot to mention he does have resistance to slashing damage, which is a very common damage type.
Yeah. It's the most common. I don't know if it's the most common. I think piercing is.
Most range attacks are piercing. Yeah. It's a mix-up. But yeah,
don't hate it.
That one.
Don't hate it as a concept. I hate I hate it if I had to play it.
I too would rather know rather than not know the person who's kicking my shit in.
True.
Okay, next up. Let's do let's see, this is by Valeris 4290, The Way of the Forest.
Oh, the person who just commented. Cool. Ooh,
oh, shit, yeah, it is.
Monk member.
Hi, Valeris. There you are. I didn't even read your name in the chat before I... Okay, this one is broken up into 3 screen... Why is it no longer available? What do you mean it's not available? Give me a second. Discord being dumb.
It's not Discord. It's just streamer.
Well, I opened these
the
from
operator
Discord.
Operator.
I opened these from Discord, so they're being a little bit dumb. They do that. And then this last one. What? I just... okay. I guess I'm only opening one at a time. I guess that's what we're doing. Because it doesn't like it. It is a little bit hard to read. It's kind of blurry for some reason, but
yeah, it's there. I mean, they were submitted in our Discord, so I mean, unless they have a problem with it, you can go find them submitted and look at them that way.
Yeah, you could just like search contest or submission or something, and it should be in there.
Yeah.
So this druid. Well, yeah, I messed it up already. I was gonna say this monk is kind of a mix between monk and druid.
So what it reminded me of, the first thing I thought of when I read this was if you've seen Rurouni Kenshin, during when he's going to Kyoto, Cynosuke runs into a monk in the forest, and he's like, I did some things. I'm just trying to get in. And he like has all these. This is what this reminded me of. Somebody that's kind of gone. The Japanese have the temples in the forest and the shrines and stuff. So somebody out there. This is what this made me think of immediately.
Yeah.
So there definitely is a theme or like some inspiration for it, at least from what I know.
Yeah. Now the abilities are interesting. So you get some free spells. Well, not free spells. You spend key on a few spells like Bark Skin, Earthbind, Beast Sense, or Locate Animal and Plants, which is fine. Very thematic for a nature-themed monk. No issues with that one. But the Forms of the Forest did have, I think, 1 point on it we needed to mention.
Yeah, I started off by saying I really like the idea. It reminds me of Vixen from DC, who has like a totem that she could channel animal spirits. Most of these seem fine. They're just a little powerful when I feel like you could use a single key point and change almost at will every bonus action.
Yeah.
Especially out of combat, you could potentially like triple your jump off a cliff, change to fly mode, then swim. Like you could do a lot of things if you decide to combine a lot. We recommend using a key point each time you want to change, but it would reset your 1 minute timer. Still pretty good, but it is a little bit of a cost. Yeah. I think that's a lot of times, a lot of things we see is that, I mean, that's our biggest qualm with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that a lot of stuff seems really powerful with no cost, or it's a cost that benefits you. Gain 10,000 life points to play this card. Oh boy, what a cost.
Or, Lightsworn. Hey, put 5 cards in from your deck to your graveyard at your cost.
Oh, when this goes to the graveyard, guess what? Yeah. That's so you gotta pay something, a little bit of something to make it, what do I activate this? Should I do it?
That's the only issue with this ability specifically. You can just kind of do it as much as you want after the first time. Otherwise, the animal forms themselves aren't super powerful. If I can bring them up, let me see if I can bring them up and the thing not explode on me. Okay, here we go.
Us Hurricane's never heard of them. That's true. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, you get a climbing speed. You have advantage on strength checks. Not amazing, useful. The bear one is...
I think there was... Yeah,
the mythic forms you don't get till later. And they're fine.
Well, I think that we're just moving on to, Herd the Flock, I think. I can't...
Yeah, let me pull that one up.
I think that was everybody gets a piece of it or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so the issue with Herd the Flock, level 11, is... Let's see, when you gain the benefits of an animal form, you can extend the benefits of your animal form to a number of creatures within 15 feet of you equal to your wisdom modifier. So just everyone gets to be buffed like a gorilla for 1 key point.
And it resets on a short rest, which again is very short. We were saying we'd recommend either a long rest or 1 key point per creature you want to affect again. It also seems like every time you change, the whole party would also gain those benefits. So there's a little there as the whole party being able to adapt on the fly even once a day seems a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit, but do we have anything with the mythical mimicry? Or was that
nothing written. I mean, this was our top 3 until I think the very end.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I hate to say that it was literally our top 3.
Yeah.
Until we led to the last thing we read.
Also, I'm pretty sure that's a shifter. That's the shifter art from the book where the shifters came out.
Mm.
But yeah, the mythical forms are fine. The forms themselves aren't overpowered. It's just spreading it to all your allies.
Oh, I really enjoyed this. It was really well written. It had a theme point. It seemed like it'd be fun. I love monks and different ways to play the monks. I mean, I could think of different things in there, but yeah, it was very close. But something kind of popped up that we're like, damn, this is great.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately.
Next up is one of submitted by actually one of our testers, is by Lord Samuel, The Way of the Soul-Reaver.
Yeah. Samuel is someone who helps us out a lot. Definitely was a perfectly prepared subclass. It's really cool. Again, really well formatted. Yeah, that's what we said. Key point person to take spread to. That's what we were thinking as well. But yeah, sorry. So Lord Samuel knows what he's doing. It's really well formed, really good idea. The only reason this wasn't in our top is for that last reason. But we'll go over it real quick and then we'll say why. I don't know if this is based off of like Legacy of Kain Soul-Reaver, even though I'm pretty sure he's like a vampire or just a name that's familiar.
It could also
Bleach.
Someone else mentioned Bleach. It's just Bleach.
Okay, that's fair.
Possibly. But yeah, let's see. It's been like a week since we looked at this one.
He does not have the memory I do.
I have memory for very specific things. Okay.
So there's a lot. There's basically, this is a class where you could do a lot of cool stuff, and as a DM, you're either going to absolutely hate this person, or as a player, you're going to hate this class. There are, what'd you call it? Not what was the word? Save or suck.
Save or
I think is what your exact words.
Save or suck.
Where?
You either save or you. Yeah.
Everything. Every single thing in this class is either you hit or you don't. That's it. There's no half damage. There's no, this is what happens on a save. It's you hit it or you don't hit it.
Yeah.
And again, it's cool. It's definitely really interesting.
Yeah, the individual abilities are cool and sound fun, but if you miss, it's just wasted. And that's my only issue with it.
Yeah. Again, it's perfectly done. I don't have any problems with any of the forms. I think ethereal cremation is really complexly worded, and that's the only real complaint I have for the class. I don't remember the wording of it, but it was like,
I've got it on screen now.
Extra complex.
Yeah, it's a bit wordy. It could be cut down a few of the words here, but yeah, really the only issue is the save or suck nature of it. You're either going to be, it's all over, or we're so back, and there's no in between.
Yeah, again, that was the big part for us, is it fun? And I don't know, I have no luck. So for me, this class would not be fun because I'd miss everything. Everybody would roll the Ds.
Yeah.
Ds. I wouldn't have anything. And if you're not hitting something, but then again, if you hit everything, it's going to be way too strong. So like, it's definitely balanced, but not in a way that I think is necessarily good balance.
You could definitely cut some of the damage down and give it a save or pass or a save or fail option, and it wouldn't do as much damage, obviously, but it would be more consistent.
Let's see, Detracted damage equal to 2 rolls your martial arts die on a failed save, or half as much. Well, there's a half.
Oh, yeah, there is. Of course. But most of them aren't like that, from what I remember.
Yeah. Gambling. Yeah, if that's something you like, definitely. But again, perfectly designed, perfectly formed, good idea. Seems like it would be, really has a theme and everything like that. I can't really fault him for that. I just don't know how fun it would be to play.
Yeah.
for those reasons. If you feel like you're a god of the dice, then go for it. But then the DM might hate you because it is pretty powerful. But again, it's again powerful when you succeed and pointless when you don't.
Yeah, it's nothing new to say.
But this is our own Lord Samuel. Very helps us out anyways. Knows what he's doing. There's probably a reason he went for Save or Suck again for that same reason. It's well balanced. It absolutely is balanced. That's why it's very powerful, but you have to hit, and then you get nothing. So it is a very extreme balance on opposite sides. And I'm not against something like this. I just don't know if I would personally enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure you could make a build around it that would snap the monster manual in half, but you can do that with anything eventually.
Min-maxing. Yeah, min-maxing. I do not enjoy min-maxing.
I mean, I do it sometimes for my builds, like Miyabi, hey, how about 200 damage in a turn?
It's theoretical min-maxing. You're not actually bringing that to a campaign.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is...
I liked it, though. It was really up there.
Oh, yeah.
With everything else.
About people talking in general chat. Oh, someone... He updated the Witchcraft sorcery. I didn't see that.
Are you getting gotcha PTSD?
Oh, God. No, that's me. That's me with the gotcha PTSD. Anyway.
What's one more? Sure.
What's another $10? So next up, we have another of our people, Steam Dragon, who is in the chat. I saw you. You can't hide from me. I know you're there. Steam Dragon and the Circle of Enlightenment.
Circle of Enlightenment.
Which he's been having in there for a while, actually. He's posted a few times in the submissions for just to be looked at and stuff. So this one's been in the works for a while, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, I think so. He's in for a while. It has a clear and defined inspiration, though it does seem to go away from it a little bit. Yeah. But
I see you there, Machete.
I don't even have it on screen right now.
It'll show up in a second.
Oh, hey. Say hello to our editor, the person who's making this a lot more easy
right there.
Us. Just appreciation.
Yes, he's been editing the videos since Dawn, except for like one. Can you see it on screen now, Metal?
Yeah, I'm good. Yep.
Okay. That kink in my neck finally came out. But yeah, very, very clearly inspired by Naruto and Sage Mode, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a year or so. Yeah, so he's been working on this for a while, a good long while.
We also, I think we mentioned that druids don't normally punch, even though it's based off of,
Yes, that was one of my things. From what we can tell, Steam Dragon,
it's some melee stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't. They have melee stuff for like when you hit stuff with your melee attacks, but you didn't give them a way to do unarmed attacks, at least improved unarmed attacks. As far as I could tell when you're looking at it. Let's see, hit point. Yeah, so you do get Primal Savagery, which is a cantrip that lets you grow claws and stuff, which is fine. But if I remember correctly, you don't actually get like any form of martial arts, which would kind of seem necessary for some of the features, but not 100%. Let's see. Routine saves your body, gain characteristics.
The insect mode.
Yes. The insect
that heals, which is a weird choice.
Some of the theming with the insect is weird that it heals. Bugs.
Well, we don't have a problem with the druid doing melee. Sorry, we don't have a problem with the druid doing melee. It's just it didn't seem to give it a good way to do so.
Yeah, there's no unarmed strikes in this. You technically don't have proficiency with unarmed strikes, and you don't deal any extra damage outside of 1 plus your strength, and whatever else it adds onto it with your various forms. That's not the issue. I have made So many casters into melee characters, into melee subclasses.
Also, I think remember that the carnivore was a weird totem because it's feline and canine and attack and dark vision, and technically in 5e cats don't have.
So that was intentional. Okay. Steam Dragon just commented he
It worked out better. Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, we didn't do any like testing with these, so keep that in mind. We didn't really have the time to do any intensive testing with like combat scenarios and stuff for these. Didn't think that was intentional, but good to know. Bug theme.
Yeah, I mean that's safe. We can only go with what we know.
Yeah, but bug theme druid is the swarm, circle of swarms usually. They do like bees and stuff. The bees. Yeah, the carnivore is.
That's the problem thing. Here, let me heal you with my insects. You're just covered in a swarm, and I feel better, but I also feel worse. Yeah,
I'll go to the hospital. Please keep your bugs away. Let's see.
The next thing I have is the dragon forms, which seem really powerful.
Let's see. Oh,
because I think they were just infinite breath.
No, they have recharge. They have recharge. I think it was just their.
I can't see it.
Well, yeah, I'm just going down now.
Well, what I have here for notes is say, get rid of the first part entirely, and each breath is one use. The secondary effects are fine, because at that point you'd be getting no benefits until your special condition kicks in, and it's really powerful, so that would be the cost. I don't remember what they do, though. It's just what I wrote down.
So the Earth Dragon, you grow horns when you enter this form, you gain 30 feet of burrowing speed, resistance to... you gain magic resistance, which means advantage on saving throws against spells, and resistance to acid, poison, and psychic damage. And then negative energy breath.
The roars are really powerful.
Yeah. 66 for no other cost other than entering the form.
And then recharging also could recharge in one round every time if you roll well enough. It's a lot.
I'd say just give it the regular recharge if you wanted to keep that, like the roll 6 on a d6 rather than in a certain number of rounds. Just to keep it consistent with how regular breath attacks recharge. But the damage is also pretty high.
I still think it was good without the roar at all. Because the secondary effect is so good. Because it's a free get out of zero card, and it's not that you stay at 1. You just negate the attack entirely, and then you gain resistance. And then the other one is when you reduce a creature to 0, you can get more hit points.
Yeah.
And so like they seem really good without even the breath weapon. Like, and you're just kind of waiting for your condition to trigger. I mean, Totem the Earth Dragon, with its ability, you just can't die until it activates, and then you reactivate it. Like, and then you get resistance. It's even harder to die after that. That's a really good ability on its own, I think.
Yeah, and it does take use of your wild shape to do the thing. So it's not infinite, which is good. I do really like it. Again, just lots of damage in the breath attack. If you want to keep,
you also could swap.
Yeah, you could swap it.
You could swap. No, I'm saying like you can swap any of these. Like you can swap between any form whenever. And if we're based off of Sage Mode and Naruto, usually the contracts are, I'm frogs. That's all I get is frogs. It's just different kinds of frogs. And that defeats the purpose of the contract-based animals. And then you have a lot of themes from Naruto. Like I said, just based off of Kiba, but that's not. He's never done Sage Mode or anything like that. And then obviously Earth Dragon and Sky Dragon Roar is more Wendy. Fairy Tale there a little bit. Which is fine. I'm all for all of that. It's just it for me. It seems to lose a little bit of the inspiration and tries to do it all, which I would say just maybe you could make this more. Maybe this could even. I don't usually say things to be a class, but it could certainly have different themes, and switching between all of them.
Yeah, you could definitely just
is not usually what you do.
Yeah, you can definitely just make each path more separate and pick a path when you take the subclass. Like, okay, I am a carnivore. I am contracted to, tiger, dog,
Yeah.
bird, even because birds are carnivores, and that's your animal that you get now, and you go down that path and you kick ass as a bird, or you be a bug man, or whatever you pick. It's just weird being able to swap between
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I think that's fine. Definitely, they need to be separated a little bit more. I'm definitely fine with a few animals as part of the path, but it just feels like anything at any time, whenever.
Yeah. Let's
Again, this was really high up for us at some point. It was up there for a while.
yeah, I
We
like
just
it.
had a lot of good submissions. I don't dislike
Yeah.
any of it. I just it needs a little bit more cohesion for me, and it feels like it loses inspiration as it goes.
Okay. Do you have any other notes on this one?
Oh no, that was everything. I said I think I do really like it. Again, I do like the inspiration is clearly there. I think it would be fun to play. I feel too many options. It's definitely not bad.
Okay. Then that's Yuki. That's Yukimoto. Okay. Our next option is another monk, and this is by Discord cooperate.
Sensei Blizzard?
Sensei Blizzard. I don't know if you're here,
Let's
Sensei
go.
Blizzard. But this is the Way of the Blood.
Blood Weaver, yeah.
Darker. Just Way of Blood. There's no Weaver.
What? Mine says Way of the Blood Weaver.
The previous one was Soul-Reaver. Maybe, I don't know. This is Way...
Ah,
Oh, no, yeah.
Weaver and Reaver.
The document does say Way of Blood Weaver, but the title here just says Way of Blood. Okay. Either way. This one... I forget what we talked about this one a little bit.
I think the biggest thing is creating weapons. You get extra strength for your blood weapons, no matter what they are.
Right.
So two daggers would be D12s a piece.
By the end, yeah. This would be a lot.
Yeah. Equal should probably be more than enough, and 2 seems a bit much, even if light property. If the weapon is equal to its own damage or martial arts die, whichever is higher, would probably be better. That way is your martial art die, because the martial art die usually, you said it does go to D12 now, but
Yeah, it goes
if
to
it's just equal to it as it is,
Yeah, if it's equal to it as it is, that's fine. Because then you're not getting free damage out of nowhere. Again, especially with the daggers, but but yeah, again, this was probably made for the previous version where it maxed out at a D10.
yeah.
Now the scaling has been upped so that you start at a higher dice and you get to higher dice faster up to D12s. Let's see. I do like the Tools of Blood, where you can just make a lockpick or a crowbar out of blood.
Oh yeah, that was
I
great.
love that.
Yeah. I also love subclasses that let you do things outside of combat because, there's more to just fighting. I can't stand tons and tons of combat. I'm more of an RPer. So anything you can do outside of that is great with your subclass. So
Yeah.
although I did misread it at first and thought that you were just fighting with lockpick.
I mean, they're sharp.
I
You can
was
definitely
like,
get
huh.
a good few stabs in.
What a lockpick your life.
A sword is just a key
We have
to
grasp
match
heart?
someone's death.
That's true.
Grasp. Is that the last
We
feature?
grasp heart.
The last feature.
all the way at the end,
17. Yep.
It says we maybe recommend 2d6 per key point up to wisdom modifier. I don't know what it does, but that's what I wrote down.
Okay. So when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend key points to deal additional necrotic damage. For each key point spent, the attack deals an additional 2d6 necrotic damage, or it just deals 10d6 if you spend 5 key points or more.
Oh, right. I thought that was weird because I don't remember the specific reason I thought it was weird, but it was like you're spending more key points for less until you get to a certain point. I don't remember. Or was the opposite?
I think it's also just the wording. You could have spent like, spend one, number of key points up to your wisdom modifier and deal 2d6 for each one of those, and that still maxes out at 10d6.
Yeah.
I think it was just mostly the wording.
It is a little tough.
Yeah.
Lockpicks are not sharp.
If you
I mean, they're small enough. Yeah. Yeah. I personally suggested switching the 6th and 11th feature.
Right. Let me go up to these two: Blood Rush and Blood Harvest.
I just thought
yeah.
that the 6 was better than the 11. I can't quite see it yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I thought the 6 was better than the 11 feature. And so maybe to even it out a bit, you just get 2 of the choices for 11. Just flip. I still can't find this. Is a long delay.
It should go up here. There, that should.
Gotta wait 30 seconds. For the next one of these, so geez, you're very.
I don't know. I mean, we've got extra.
Expect a lot of us.
We've got extra life coming up.
Ugh.
In a few months.
Yeah.
6 months.
Oh, there they are. I think the harvest mark is cool, and you should get it early.
Yeah, I feel
but it doesn't seem like it's so late.
Yeah, level 11 is a bit late.
And I think if it's level 6, it's fine.
Yeah, I like the idea of swapping these because the harvest mark seems more like a core feature that you should be using a lot, and the level 6 feature that we currently have seems just like a bonus to the initial monk stuff, which is fine. But I like the blood harvest coming earlier as a main core feature.
Yeah, I do as well. So this was again another really high graded for us. Pretty well done, interesting, and I've never seen I said switching the 2 is really interesting because that's not even like a real hard thing to do. You just switch where they are, that's it.
Boop, boop, done.
Yeah, so really well done. I liked it a lot. It was definitely a favorite.
Is another one I really like, and this is by Odd Anubis. This is yes, the blade.
He liked this one a lot. I had more issues with it, but that's fine. We can always disagree.
Yeah, this is the Blade of the Kaiju, which I can only imagine is inspired by 2 characters. The vice captain from Kaiju number 8, or is it 8? Yeah, it's 8. Or Levi from Attack on Titan. That's what this makes me think of. So we are over halfway done. We're going to try to end at probably around 6-ish. Let me double check when I have those other streams set for.
We're going to try to play some games if you guys wanted to stick around. We need to set up. We're going to try a dual stream, I think, for.
Yes. Which will be interesting.
Extra life, so we won them.
Yeah, we're going to test some stuff. I might need to adjust the time from 6 to 6:30. Not sure.
Yeah.
Because we only got 19 minutes left and we still have a few to get through. But what are our notes for this one? What do you
got? I don't even have it on the screen unless I do. Yeah, okay, there it is. We have Kaiju reflexes odd. I don't know where that is, but
reflexes. Oh, here it is, level 13. You may add your proficiency bonus to dexterity saving throws. If you already add your proficiency bonus to them, you instead gain a +4. Oh, okay, yeah. So the reason this is odd is because rogues already get dex saves. So this is just a free +4 regardless. Unless you multi-class into this and then you go 13 levels into this subclass without dex saves. Then you just get them. It just seems kind of weird, and I could see this as instead using the something like the new cunning strike or whatever it's called, where you give up sneak attack die on your next turn to increase your AC or increase your dex save, rather than just getting a flat +4.
I have something here that says choose proficiency in a saving throw or half proficiency to saving throw you already have. That's
Also, that option.
what I think you suggested.
That's what I
to do for
suggested
that.
last time. I thought of a new suggestion when I read
Yeah.
this time. Okay, my brain goes burr with homebrew. Okay, thanks a lot.
That's true. We have Blade Dance and Decisive Strike. I think we decided was a little bit too much for both. I don't know where that is.
That is the level 17 Kaiju Executioner. Ignore the.
It says, it feels a bit much for both. If you want to keep both, maybe after Blade Dance is over, you suffer effects after haste, and maybe you have this a number of rounds equal to your dex mod.
Yeah, because being able to do one or the other of these, they're both very strong features is the only issue. There. Yeah, Decisive Strike is, what, just a bunch of extra damage? Let me read it again here. You sneak attack, you may choose to roll all sneak... Yeah, max sneak attack is a lot.
Yeah. My biggest problem with this is that... trying to remember what specifically it was, is that if you're a Kaiju Slayer, like, it doesn't seem to do well against anything that's actually decently sized. I always thought that, like, you should get, like... I don't even remember what I said. We went through a lot of these for a very long time. We must have put 10 to 20 hours into, going over these and talking about.
Yeah.
But I think it was something along the lines of, like, when you actually get to the big stuff, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything better with the big stuff. And it should have been some extra damage, or, how you get, like, a Dragon Slayer sword, and it does, it's a decent sword, but when you fight dragons, it's like, oh, yeah. That's what this I should have felt like. When you do fight those bigger monsters, you get bonus perks. That might not apply to every monster you fight, but when you are fighting that thing, oh yeah, we're ready to go. And this didn't have that. That's why it bothered me.
I think maybe you could do an early level feature that's like, hey, if you're a medium, whatever size creature you are, if you're fighting a creature one size category larger than you, you get a bonus damage. And if you're fighting a creature two size categories larger than you, you get more bonus damage.
It's something like exactly what I was thinking, Fastpan, yeah.
The issue with Gargantuan is you don't fight a lot of those, like, ever. Huge is easier.
Yeah. Yeah. But you still would get bonus damage, because huge is what? At least... it's these two classes heavier than...
Yeah, so it goes...
It's because most creatures are medium, so you have large and then huge.
Yeah, tiny, small, medium, large, huge, Gargantuan. Or colossal, I forget whichever one it actually is.
Yeah, I think there's more than one. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have any extra damage against anything, and it's just like,
You get some cool
that's
things
all.
to do.
That was my complaint with it.
Yeah. So
that was also by Odd Anubis. I don't know if we mentioned
Odd Anubis,
that.
Yeah, we did. We did at the beginning. I don't know if they're in chat.
Okay. Well, Odd Anubis.
Yes.
I have not seen that name yet, but...
Well, no, but one of the other ones wasn't the same name as the Discord name, so yeah. So the difference between having the extra damage be size-based and the way the Ranger works is the Ranger is, like, specifically that type of creature. Like, oh, I pick dragons or whatever. Well, congratulations, we're not fighting dragons this campaign. Get wrecked. You're always going to fight something at least one size category larger than you on a semi-regular basis, unless you're doing a really realistic setting. And even then, you can go, like, punch a bull in the face.
I like the person that says plays a fairy. There you go. Now everything's bigger than you.
Play as a fairy, be tiny, and start just stabbing everything in the shins.
Everything has eyes.
That's effectively almost being Ant-Man. Like, you're just going in and you're ripping their veins apart. Yeah, overall, I really like it. It just seems like it could use a bit more stuff to make it feel like you're actually doing more to the big things. I like all the features.
Yeah.
So some of them might need to be tweaked down so it's not super powerful. But yeah. Oh, I do love Railgun / Index Black Cat, by the way. I see that there.
True. Yeah.
I was at one point going to make an Esper class, and then I decided against that.
Yeah, class is hard.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
What's next?
I'm gonna skip that one. Next is by the Great Zombini, the Predator.
Zambini.
Does this one work? Oh. Yeah, okay, that one works.
Oh, it's the whole class.
Yes, this is
a whole class.
This is a class submitted by the Great Zombini. Zombini? Which one is it? Zombini. Okay. It's
Zombini.
So it's not like the Predator.
Yeah, so classes are very hard. We had to take a few hours just. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was. Let me double check the other one just to make sure. So this was about eating stuff, if I remember correctly. This is a. It felt like a very Blue Mage Kirby type thing, which is really tough to do. Like, I know we've thought about doing it. It's just really tough because it's all about eating and each. It's true. I have.
You like make a Blue Mage. I don't want to make a Blue Mage.
This is just so tough. Because this class just does everything. Every subclass is just there's literally nothing you can't do in this class. It's so, which I feel like is too many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, even then it was like, if you do this, you get necrotic damage. If you do this, you get psychic damage. If you do there was definitely a subclass for everything that you could possibly think of.
I think the right word is overtuned. For this kind of thing, like there's too much here. It's not bad by any means, but there's just so much here you can do that it kind of spreads itself.
When you do a class, yeah. The thing is, when you do a class, you have to ask yourself, is there a need for this? And, and when you do it, you have to rebalance the other classes. And this just feels like this can do what any other class can do if you pick the right build. It just feels like a class that replaces all other classes. And I think this is not too bad. I think we thought about it and we thought bring it down to a subclass for a barbarian. A barbarian tearing through stuff. I'm going to eat the remains of my kill and then gain some of its abilities.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like you should just have a set number of abilities. Like, okay, if you eat fiends, these are the type of abilities you would get from fiends. If you eat, celestials or something like that, each sort of categories of monsters would give you a set thing and picking something from that monster because they can get a little.
Yeah, just it just seemed like a bit much.
This is.
You were cutting out a lot from AGs. Hello?
Yeah?
I can see Claude's eye moving, but you're not talking.
I am. I can hear you just fine.
Huh. Let me leave the call and come back. 1 second. Okay, let's try again. Okay. So any other notes on the Predator here?
No, but we do have the person in the chat. Looks like he wanted to make it feel like a wizard with all the subclasses.
Okay. Wait. Oh, so this was you let us play, okay. Or is he talking about the Esper thing? Because someone else mentioned that. Okay. The wizard always made me not annoyed because it got, hey, have a subclass for every school of magic, and then some of them just kind of felt eh. I did not personally look over every single one of these subclasses because it's a 26-page document. It's a lot.
Well, I looked pretty quickly through them. Like, I'm able to read pretty far, and it was like I said, everything could do something.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's too many options. And I feel like this would have been a really cool barbarian subclass. I know that's probably limiting what you wanted to do, but sometimes I really think that would have been a really interesting niche of like just gaining, powers and being able to just get in their face, and then you could do a lot of the extra stuff, and just depending on what you eat is what you get. Yeah. I don't know when I cut out, so I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but
it's not bad at all by any means. It's just, again, like he says, it's too much. It could very easily be a really good subclass.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, or if you wanted, you could retune it a little bit, take out some of the things, just so it's more of a concise class. Because right now it seems just way too spread out. It covers every niche.
And usually each class should have a specific idea or role to what they're doing. Yeah, you can kind of obviously you can have melee casters or casting meleeers or whatever.
But they're never as good at it as the other side.
Yeah.
Except for the Blade Song Wizard. The Blade Song Wizard is strong. Okay. And this will be the last one before our top 3.
Oh, yeah, before the top 3, yeah.
And it's another class.
It is another class. This took a while. I did like this one, though.
Yeah. So this is by...
It is really good.
Yeah, this is by someone on my Patreon. This is the only person who submitted through Patreon. Matthew... I don't know how to say his last name. M-E-K...
Mezzawar.
Mezzawar. Mezzawar. that.
M-E-C-Z-Y-W-R. Mezzawar. Mezzawar. I don't know. There's probably a better way to pronounce it. We're sorry. If you're here, correct us.
Yeah. I don't know if you are, but if you and he sent this through Patreon, and this is based entirely on, as you can see here, the Fate series, Fate Stay Night and all those very strange shows that there's no proper way to watch them in. There's too many.
It also says Mez there, so maybe it's just Mezwar. Maybe all of those just make Mezwar.
Maybe.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, no, this was this is obvious, a really easy thing for us because we are decently Fate things. I've obviously done the Fate, one of the Fate campaigns. They also simplified it. This person could have easily have done everything if you're into Grand Order, how many extra class shielder, everything else that's there. They kept it to the 7.
Yeah.
8? There's no ruler, right?
There's no ruler.
Oh, yeah, so they kept it to the 7.
So, Metal, we did forget one. I just realized Black Cat commented that either mine's in the top 3 or it's not here. I went and checked his name. He did submit something, and we forgot to look at it.
Oh, wait, we didn't look at it, or we didn't?
No, we did not look at it.
What do you mean, no?
It's a warlock subclass. It must have had one of those corrupted links when I went to it, and I just closed it without reopening it.
Great.
We'll look at that one here in a minute. Before we look at the last ones.
Well, that's not fair.
I just thought
this is why I don't let GMD run anything.
You could have.
Oh, we had them all. I thought we had a certain number. I found everything for you.
Yeah, there were the 2 images that were broken images. Yeah, that's on me. Let me look at it real quick while you look at the master.
I'll just go over I'll go over the stuff we had for the master. So obviously, sorry about that, Black Cat. I blame him.
You can blame me. This is fine.
We have to look. So yeah, obviously based off the 7, my brain just died. 7 servants from Fate. The Lancer, the Assassin, the Saber, the Berserker, the Rider, the Caster, and the other one, the Assassin. So it's pretty easy to figure out what you need to do. Why does each one exist? So if you're going into that class master, your subclass is going to be one of the servants. There was something called Miraculous Restoration, which we thought might have been a little bit too much HP regain. I don't remember specifically what it does.
Oh, yeah. Let me scroll down there for you. There.
I will get there in 30 seconds.
Yes.
The Arcane Bonds we felt pretty strong, so I'm currently playing Pathfinder. I know a lot of in our homebrew videos ended up with a lot of comments of just play Pathfinder. So we're playing Pathfinder to get a feel for it, and I'm playing a summoner. Sorry. We need to turn that down a little bit, but
yeah. I'll mess.
Sorry, I'm playing a Pathfinder summoner right now. And a lot of the stuff I can do as a summoner, my Eidolon does. I can cast self-target spells on it, like shield or anything, but anything I can do isn't super great. My Eidolon does most of the work, where I'm at best doing some support stuff. The Arcane Bond here lets you cast self-target spells on your Eidolon, but it doesn't dupe the spell. Sorry, he dupes the spell. So I need to look at this thing.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, one of them is any spell you cast targeting yourself also targets your servant.
Yeah, so you're duping the spell. Anything you do, if you cast shield on yourself, your summoner also gets the shield. It's a little powerful because the balance between Pathfinder's summoner is that your Eidolon is strong, but the summoner themselves isn't very good. And right here, this person can really hold their own. If you took the servant away, they'd still be a pretty decent fighter. They wouldn't be as good as anyone else with a subclass, but they'd be pretty okay on their own. So I would say should be range self as opposed to a spell that you use to target self, because target self is different than range self also.
Let's see. Sorry, do you mean to move the screen?
Oh no, I'm just we need him to turn down the sound a little bit. It is loud, and I'm hearing it twice.
Oh, yeah, I can go in there real quick. 1 second.
Yep. Let's see. Any of you guys have problems with multiple streams live at once? I can't even have this stream. Like I have this stream up for myself just to see some of the stuff late, and it keeps crashing. I don't know. My computer might be old. I got it during the COVID times with the stimulus, so I guess it's running on almost 5 years now. It might be time, but we don't have the money for that. But yeah, I can't even get the stream to save up. So,
All right, I'm back.
but yeah, I also have that problem. Yeah. Can you look at what are we looking for? Let's see. Miraculous Restoration, which should be on the screen, I think. I cannot read this. There it is.
Right there.
Regains HP equal to their half maximum HP and ends one condition. So that's just bang, half their HP. For a command seal, which you get every day. So that's basically this thing has at least 2 lives and a half if you decide not to use anything else.
Yeah, it's a lot of healing.
Absolute Order feels weak compared to Strike Now. Yeah, so Strike Now is just your servant can move at half speed, make an attack. You use a bonus action. And then Absolute Order, I think, is just like 1 attack. Yeah. Servant immediately takes the attack action or casts a spell, even if they've already acted. So, like, it's sort of the same thing. Maybe Absolute Order is 2 attacks or something, or just an auto crit or something like that.
Yeah, it feels weird because, yeah, spending a command seal for 1 attack or, yeah.
It's just 1 attack. And Strike Now is just an attack for a bonus action, which means it still could essentially attack on its own regularly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's also a free attack on your turn, but, you know.
Yeah.
Well, not free, but...
We said spellcasting is cut off. The document was weird. It went to a 3rd page and just says something. We assume it's just spellcasting.
Yeah, we assume it's just...
I don't think it's that one. Yeah.
Right there.
Just regular spellcasting, yeah. Is that it? That's the end of the document? No.
No, because...
Yeah.
Yeah,
We assume it's just regular spellcasting. There's no 15th level feature, is what I say? No 15th is what I say?
Let me double check. 15th... Oh, yeah, so part of this says... Where is it? One of these things here says at 5, 10, 15, and 20, you get some stuff, and then, yeah, here it is. Noble Phantasm.
Oh, yeah.
5th, 10th, 15th, and 20th level, but there is nothing at 15th level.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, looking at the actual summons.
Yeah.
It was...
Tactical Link, I said it should have to be reactivated.
Yeah, so when your servant makes an attack against the enemy, the other can make an attack roll with advantage so long as they target the same creature.
Oh yeah, that's infinite advantage. It should have to be a reactivated thing. Like I attack and then you attack, and then we have to reset. So it's always should be the second attack between you two should activate it. Because right now it's I attack, and then you attack with advantage. Then I attack with advantage. Then you attack with advantage. So it just goes on forever with that particular wording.
Yeah.
Resistance thing could be meh, is what I have.
Resistance thing.
That's what I have, resistance thing.
Possibly in... Oh, yeah, so you get some upgrades to your servants. With, like, supernatural resilience. Your servant gains resistance to 1 damage type of your choice. Just...
Right. Any damage. So if you could just... I think you get it twice, so you could just do bludgeoning and slashing and be like... Or 2 of the main types of damage, and you're just resistant to all of them.
Yeah. And then there was another one where you get mystic. Another one gives you resistance to something.
Yeah, there it is. Mystic reinforcements. Your server gains resistance to 1 damage.
Yeah. So lots of resistance. Not a huge issue, but seems like it's gonna make them a lot stronger, and you're already adding a second character to the turn order.
What happens at level 14? I see. I have it written here. Command seal actions level 14. Would you be able to use one twice, or would they have to be different? So
okay. Yeah. So this is arcane spells or arcane seal mastery. Your expertise with the command seal system reaches its peak, allowing you to wield it with greater frequency and power. You gain 1 expended command seal at the end of a short rest. You can now use 2 command seals at once when activating a command seal ability. So, is that you using the same one twice, or 2 separate command seal abilities? I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then once per long rest, you can use a command seal without using a command seal.
That one's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, we looked over every ability. They all felt like they were fine. They felt. I think Ryder felt. Some of them felt a little weaker compared to, like, let me think. Obviously, they're weaker compared to each other, but like, I don't remember specifically what I said. I know Ryder was kind of weird, and then Lancer didn't feel particularly good. Assassin didn't really fight. They fought in the shadows, but it felt like they should have been. It was something along the lines of like, you better hope it hits its sneak attack, or else it's useless for the rest of the fight. So you're like delaying your assassin until he comes out, which is a certainly way to play. But
it got extra damage on surprise creatures or creatures that it hasn't engaged in combat with yet. So
as soon as it goes, that's it. It loses all its abilities.
Yeah, and listen, they made it. The subclasses are just like what servant you pick. So you have the saber servant, you have the archer, lancer, rider,
I went over
assassin.
them all.
Yeah, I'm just showing them real quick on here. Caster and berserker, and then they also did make some legendary servants, which are like specific characters. If you really wanted to do that, get your DM's permission to use these ones if you were ever going to play this, because they are a lot stronger than the base model, which is already pretty strong. You can just summon Artoria.
Yeah. It is very good though. Like I definitely enjoyed it all. I think some of the servants need a little bit more work. They are like the assassin one would be really tough to use because you need to have a specific setup every time, and you need to wait and basically frontline yourself until you can send your assassin in to pretty much finish the fight.
Yeah.
And so that basically relies on you being useful, which is why you can't make the character not too strong. But I think it needs a little bit more balancing because you don't really want to have to wait to use your entire subclass.
Yeah.
For a specific moment.
You alone are kind of fine. You have some damaging spells of your own you can use.
Yeah.
Like how you get Cone of Cold. That is a great damaging spell. Let me scroll down.
Yeah, you get some really good attacking stuff. Like I said, without the subclass, you'd actually be pretty okay, considering.
You wouldn't be great, but you could probably.
You wouldn't be as bad as a summoner is in Pathfinder by yourself. By any means, I can't do my damaging spell is a 1d3 acid splash. If it hits. That is the only damaging spell I have that I'm allowed to have.
The master gets magic missile, scorching ray, lightning bolt, fucking lightning bolt, wall of fire, cone of cold. They also have some homebrew spells in here to go along with it for, like healing your servant, probably.
I get why they did that, because in lore, a wizard or a mage is supposed to be able to handle themselves. The problem is they can handle themselves and not be on the level of the servants, except for a couple of random people for no reason. And that wouldn't work super well here, because realistically your servant should be as strong as some of the other players, so you wouldn't be as strong, but a little more work. It's pretty fine. I like it a lot. But they are pretty decently strong by themselves.
Yeah. Okay. So I looked over your thing, Black Cat. I'm going to pull it up here real quick.
I have nothing to go off of, so...
you can just read it.
I'll read it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Give Metal, he speed reads really fast.
No, I mean, I'll read it when it comes up on the screen in 30 seconds.
Okay, also that. Yeah. So this one seems to be around, having a pact with, not necessarily a noble family, but, a noble spirit, I guess. There wasn't any really, let me go to the other page here. There wasn't any, flavor text to...
Ooh, that is not... Pact. It is not fit into the...
it does not fit?
Box No.
What? Oh, that's why. That's why it doesn't fit. Because it was zoomed in.
There
we go. It is fixed now.
Well, you'll have to give your thoughts on it.
Yeah. I do like the idea of it, of having I could see it is, I think it's, judging by the name, it's you technically have a pact to a magical noble family. Chaos God Mafia. Okay. That does make sense with the spells as well. Phantasmal Force, Conspiracy Theory? I'm assuming that's a homebrew spell. Conspiracy Theory.
It's my favorite spell.
It does a lot of psychic damage. It removes... I would say for a first level ability, just reducing their resistance down by one stage, either making resistance normal or... normal into vulnerability, is a little strong, considering you're kind of built around doing psychic damage. Maybe just treating resistance as not, instead of making them vulnerable. But that's not a huge deal until later on when you get really high damaging spells. I like the commanding aura. I'm not sure on the intelligence restriction, mostly just because you don't know if a smart merchant could be just fully immune to it, which might be a bit annoying for the player. I'd say we have it be a saving something. Restricting it to 13 just seems a bit weird. Let's see. Blood of the Capital. Is that the... Which one is that? Okay, I do like the just hey, how dare you hit me? Get fucked. Just, it's like Hellish Rebuke, but psychic flavored. Mafia flavored, I guess. That's anytime you'll deal damage you for your turn, including triggering attack. Yeah, so that's just a keep off me button, which I like. I very much like that one. The Mana Revival is... It's not weird. I like it. It just seems a bit weird thematically for me. Reminds me of the Celestial Warlock's ability to just say no you to death. Not anything bad about it. Just seems a little bit off. Is it cutting? It's cutting out a lot. Great. I can hear metal.
I could hear you fine. I heard you fine the whole time. So it's hard to say what happens on the other end.
Sorry about that, guys. I'll move my mic a bit closer. Hopefully, it won't cut out as much. Mic. Technically, this is Metal's mic. I stole it from him months ago. 2 years ago at this point. And the last feature, let's see. I looked at it a minute ago and I have completely forgotten already. Psychic damage, you may choose low. Okay, yeah, that's just reducing its resistance again. At that level, that's fine, honestly. Just say, nope, you don't resist me. Take damage, asshole. Okay. Yeah, so it's not, the mana revival isn't a big issue. It just seemed a little bit out of pocket for me. Not a big deal. Yeah, the I'd say if you wanted to have Emperor's Insanity, just treat resistance as not being there and treat immunity as resistance, and then Emperor's Laughter goes down another stage, and that could make it vulnerable. Or just say, hey, you're now vulnerable to psychic damage regardless of whatever else. I think that'd be a bit better, since otherwise it's just the same thing twice. But I do like it. I'm sorry that it kind of died before the stream. It just disappeared before we even looked at it, as the dead links. I do like it a lot. Put that over here. Do you have any thoughts on it, Metal?
It's too small for. I mean, it's not too small for me, but no, I'm gonna let you have this one. I'll take too much time thinking about it.
Okay. So we do have the one honorable mention from someone who submitted.
Oh yeah.
Do you have that on there? I forget what it was called.
I didn't. It was so. There's nothing. It's this guy submitted an entire system. It was a long. It had to have been at least 100 pages. It was too much.
200 pages.
Only reason is honorable. I think go check it out. I don't have it written down of what it is, but it's in our Discord.
I'll find it.
Again, 100 pages is a lot to ask. Technically not a D&D 5e homebrew, which is the only reason we didn't include it. We also didn't want to spend an extra 40 hours looking over it and trying to get it, but he did a lot of work, a lot of it in it, so I wanted to include that, if we can get his name and everything.
Yeah, I'll find it. If I can.
Snowburn, we have not gone over yours yet, if that means anything.
Oh, is his name the same as his submission or on Discord?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and he also mentioned what he wrote, but yes.
Oh, did he? Which one did he? Okay, I'll look at it in a second.
Yeah.
I'll look at it.
It's
second.
fine.
I'm just trying to find the other one.
Get that thing.
Hopefully, you guys can't hear the rain that's deciding it's pounding.
No, I don't hear it. No rain. You're fine.
Good.
There's no snoring. You're good.
Yeah, sorry. I know I had it here before, and it was massive. Oh, yep. Someone submitted just an idea of a thing to it, which didn't quite work.
Mm. That was a weird one.
Yeah. Let's see. Homebrew submissions. Hopefully can just find it in here. Blade of the Kaiju. There's the Predator again. Come on. There it is. Okay. So this is by Mirnyx, Mirnyx, and it is the Stun World. Let me pull that up here. So this is an honorable mention purely because we did not have the time to look over 222 pages of stuff.
Well, technically not a D&D 5e homebrew. It's an entirely different system.
It's a 5e based
expansion,
system.
Yeah. Which is
post-apocalyptic stuff. It looks really cool, and the quality is really high. We just did not have the time to look over it. So if you are here, Mirnyx, sorry about that. So we are going to move on now to the top 3, and the last one will be the number 1 spot.
Yeah, so much. It was oh my god, it was over 200 pages. It's just it is entirely too much. But please check it out if you're interested in that. We definitely don't want to cut them off because of it. But I didn't have enough.
Yeah, you can find the link to it in the Homebrew submissions channel. Just scroll up a bit and you'll find it. But yeah. The next one we are doing...
All right, so we're in our top 3 now, I think, right?
Yes.
And there's a name that asked if we had done his.
Yes, this
if
is...
You might have missed it.
By Snorbjorn?
Snorbjorn.
The Circle of Flora.
And this is our number 3. This is our top 3.
The number 3 and number 2 were kind of tied anyway, between me and Metal.
They're both 25, so congratulations on that. Let's go over it, though.
Yeah. So... my fingers. So this is kind of a summoning druid, but it doesn't summon animals like you do with like summon animals spell and whatnot. Summon woodland beings. Instead, you summon a not pre-made, but you summon a customizable plant companion, which for Metal acts a lot like the Eidolon in Pathfinder.
Yeah. And that is so that everyone, again, whenever we made something in Homebrew for 5e, it was just like, go play Pathfinder, go play Pathfinder, go play Pathfinder. Okay, got it, cool. 5e desperately needs some sort of summoner type thing because it's just something that exists. I mean, we couldn't make, like, there was, like, the puppeteers we wanted to make from Naruto. There was, like, summoning monsters, like, out of cards, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there's so many ideas I had that was about summoning sort of creature. It just doesn't exist in 5e, and it needs to be something. And this is, like, Summoner Light. It's a druid subclass that allows you to summon a plant companion that can do a lot of things. It's Swedish? Oh, Snowbjorn, yeah. Snowbjorn. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Farrell, I'm gonna reply to it in the Homebrew submissions. You can just click on the reply.
But yeah, I really liked it. So it does need some work.
A little bit.
It does need some work. We have a lot of notes, but again, we wanted to base it off of fun and how important it is to the system, and I definitely think that 5e needs a summon or something, and this is like Summoner Light. It makes it very interesting. It allows you to get used to that idea, and it doesn't make it overly complicated.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think
so. Here's. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I think the main issue we had, the thing we'd like to change is. Every time you summon your plant, you have to pick all the options for it that you want.
Yeah.
And
so let me read out what I've written down here. Plant companion is cool, very similar to the ranger's animal companion, but also the summoner's Eidolon from Pathfinder. My personal issue is that evolution points are pretty rare, and any chosen from your Eidolon typically can't be removed or added except when you get to choose more. So right now, I didn't get the. I chose it when we started the campaign, and I just leveled up to 5 and got the chance to choose more. Right now, there's not any limit to how many you can summon at once. It's up to your wild shape, and each time you do, each one can be drastically different. The other issue is time. It will take time to build with its growth points in the middle of combat, which can increase the length of your turn, which might frustrate other players if you're just like, oh, hold on, let me make the. You know what I'm saying? It just kills the kind of the momentum of combat.
Yeah.
I think being able to change its growth as a short rest, and then whenever you summon the creature, it has its last growth you applied, is better. Allows you to quickly take an aside to change to something better, but not mid-combat. I also, obviously, one companion at a time, limit it to that. There also should be a range for how far your companion can go, just like in Pathfinder. It can only go so far, unless you take a spell for that.
Yeah, there's also the Echo Knight Fighter, who has, like, the Echo can't be more than 30 feet away from you, or it disappears. Just something so you can't just like go sniping people with your plant from 100 feet away or 200 feet away or whatever.
I think we decided that Seed Pod was a little too strong.
Oh yes, the Seed Pod option.
But there are very specific circumstances, and we both like the idea of a plant scrambling up the side of a cliff and motoring down firing sport.
Yeah, that is funny, just probably a bit strong.
So here's the other thing: is that we have no issues really with anything else. It's really well done, put over. 5e's missioning summoner like class for sure. So I definitely appreciate seeing it here in some way. Just as a summoner Pathfinder can't do a whole lot on their own, as I mentioned with the master class. And a druid's pretty decent overall without a companion, so it could be a little strong.
Yeah.
Druid's got a lot of spells and wild shape and everything else it can do, so it's a pretty decent class. So it could be a little powerful, but this is really enjoyable. If you haven't played Summoner before or haven't played Pathfinder, this is literally it's pretty close. It's like a light version of it. So if you want to feel what that's like, this is definitely a good way to get into that. I would recommend trying this out for yourself.
He says he meant it as one at a time.
Yeah, I figured as much. It just wasn't specified, and people will rules lawyer you, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, the druid part of this will make it, like you said, a bit better than the summoner in Pathfinder, because most of his turns, when it is his turn, not his Eidolon turn, consists of either casting a spell on his Eidolon or firing a crossbow that he never hits with.
Yeah, that's true. I mostly move around, yeah.
I think you hid in a barrel at one point.
I don't think so. I make holes, okay?
You make holes. You do make holes,
Yeah.
and I push people into those holes.
Or I push people, yeah. Anyways, yeah, so no, I like this. This is number 3. Congratulations, Snowbjorn. You can reach us on Discord. Our names are obviously part of the Game Master's domain, people on the top right. Or if you're not in the Discord, which I think you are, but if you don't want to do that way, you can also email us. We're going to need information to send you this. Please don't be in Sweden. Because that'll be a huge problem.
I mean, it would be if we were sending him the dice. This is going to be the gift card. We can just send the numbers.
Oh, the gift card should be fine. You're right. That should be fine. The dice would be a problem. I don't know how. Just tell us what you want. It's a $25 gift card. To whatever, as long as it's reasonable for us to get it to you that way.
Yeah, just message Metal.
Reach out. Yeah, I can handle that, I suppose. And I will get that to you as long as it's reasonable. Like I said, it can be to whatever you want for the most part, as long as I can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations. I really like this. Like I said, it did have a lot of work that needs to be done, but we wanted to think about fun and necessity. It is a necessity for 5e to have something like this, and it's really well done in a light format. So you were in Sweden. No, it's fine. It's fine. I forgot about the thing.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the gift card thing will be fine.
And the number 2 is my personal favorite of the subclasses that we looked at so far. Is by Ravenmal.
Ravenmal. Yeah.
Ravenmal. That's probably how you say that one. Is the way of shifting vectors.
Another monk subclass, because when we looked at this, we had like 4 in a row.
We had a lot of monks. The base idea for this is putting down little gravity glyphs on the floor, and then you trying to push people into those to move them around the battlefield and do extra damage and put all your enemies in one spot. I don't know.
It's a very unique way of playing. It's a very interesting theme and a very fun theme at that, because you can just zoom people around and
yeah.
I'm not as huge on it. I liked the Circle of Flora better. It doesn't matter because 2 and 3 are the same, and we both agreed on what number 1 was. But the 2 and 3, these were pretty much there for us. My favorite was the Circle of Flora. His favorite is the Way of Shifting Vectors. They're both 25, so Revimal, I haven't seen you here if you're in a different name. Also reach out to us, but we'll talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I'll also ping you on the Discord after we're done with this.
Yeah, that's fair as well.
Also, I'm not sure we're gonna have enough time.
We'll list our top 3 in the announcements as well. We'll tag them. I can do that after we're done here.
I'm not sure we're gonna have enough time to do the sniper stream today.
We can. There's nothing we're doing afterwards, but
yeah, maybe.
Whatever. We'll see.
Yeah. Might delay the after stream till later.
Yeah. So all I have here, the Vector Glyph is really interesting, but right now, as it is, it can launch a Tarrasque. There's no weight limit.
There's no creature limit. Yeah, you can just yeet the Tarrasque.
There's no limit on it. Maybe a little bit of a limit or something. We recommend large or smaller. Yeah, large or smaller for the thing, and maybe get some effects or buffs later on, kind of like the launch traps. If you've ever played Orcs Must Die, the traps can't launch to big guys, and then you can upgrade them. And the large enemies just not being affected till later. Maybe making it strength or dex save instead of just dex. just so that like you're launching a Tarrasque, which is funny but a little much.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do you have in here for this one?
Strike glyph.
Strike.
I said with a
yes.
strike glyph, that's a lot. Being up to 12 at max proficiency and the interpretation, I had 5 foot movement once and up. 5 foot movement once and up to 12 DD4, while GMD interprets it as 5 foot per strike glyph, and then you can 12 foot 4. So it needs some clarification, I think. I think we read it the wrong. We read it different ways.
Yeah, I do like this a lot. Also, Raven Mall, I'd like to point out, I also made a gravity-based monk in the past.
Oh, there he is. He's in chat too.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I saw him there. And we both took it very different directions, which I'm glad because they work really well. I like both of them a lot. I can probably find my old way of gravitation somewhere.
Yeah, it's in our.
It's on
many things
GMD,
in our Patreon.
Yeah. I really like this.
I think we said we just maybe equal the proficiency and not double of proficiency.
Yes.
And maybe you can get more as you level.
One of them, I think, Vector Circle was you make the big ring around you, and if anything touches the ring...
Recommend 3 key point cost once per day. It's pretty powerful for free with no key cost or anything. Yes, it is very, very powerful. I don't remember what it did, but was that the one that just like everything in the circle was pulled to the center?
I think that's... Let's see.
No, that was Gravitic Pulse,
that's
right?
Gravitic Pulse is you put it on a creature, and then everything near that creature gets pulled towards it.
Yeah. Again, no cost. So we recommend 3 to 4 key points. Maybe targeting a point, not a creature. Because right now the main creature just doesn't get a save. Which is understandable because if they pass, no one else would be affected. So we wanted to make it a little better. So by the pass, you could choose a point where you could see, and then everything gets affected. So you can still bring him to the same point, and if he passes, she's already pretty much there. But if he passed, and then nobody else would have to make a save, and it would just be a good ability just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage, but it's also level 17, so...
Yeah. Flying Strike, doesn't... We should... I think it just says specify reaction for this. Other than that, neat.
Yeah. Because if it doesn't quite say... I don't think it says. Let me double check it again. You make an attack... Let's see. If an enemy enters a space, or an enemy enters a space while moving under the effects of... Yeah. It just says you can make an attack against them. Specify, use your reaction to make an attack against them. Not a big issue, just something I want to point out.
So this is number 2 Revamal, so congratulations. This is also a $25 gift card to wherever.
Yep, just DM me.
Within reason.
Yeah,
DM me, it's fine. I will get that to you in a way that I can. Just let me know what you feel like. $25 or 25 pounds for Snowburn, which is a little more money, but live in Europe.
Yeah. And we have our number 1.
We do our number 1 top, which will win the Moon River dice set. Which, if you want to show that picture,
yep. I meant to show it now, and it's technically it's up. It's just behind the browser. There we go. So we have these really nice dice here that were given to us by Moon River Dice for Extra Life, and again, unfortunately, due to international shipping prices, it was.
Which, if you are the person who won these dice originally, they just stopped replying to us. So it's not our intention to just go, well, too bad. Like, let us know, reach out to us, and we will definitely find a way to compensate you. It's just we just stopped hearing from them. It was what, $450 just to send the package,
just to send the dice.
And the dice are somewhat expensive, but not anywhere near that expensive, and it just didn't make sense. And I didn't have $500 to throw away, and that should have been on me, who's not sent anything internationally in a few years. So I definitely don't want to cause that person to lose out. If you are the one who originally won these, please. For the love of God, reach out to us.
Yeah. Hopefully our next winner is in America.
Yeah, we did try to specify that. I felt like I specified because I can't send it internationally. I mean, it costs so much just to spend it to Canada, which you wouldn't think was that international, but
if you do happen to be international, we can give you a $50 gift card, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
That's true.
It was
That's the
just
price of
trying
the
to
dice
send
room.
it to Canada, and it was like $400.
No, Canada cost me like 150.
Was it?
The
Oh,
one
that was
it was
doable.
spending to Ireland, and it was like
Yeah.
500.
Oh, so much. Yeah. Okay. So, our number one, I do see you in chat there. You made a question.
Oh yeah, he's been sweating a little bit.
Yeah, it is Fast Pan Rat with the Yorha.
Yeah, this is a race,
Oh,
which might be a weird
dark.
choice for number one.
Let me get rid of the dice.
He's having a stroke. It's fine.
Yep. Let me also not save the PDF. Disable force struck mode. There we go.
Give him some benefit. He's
Yep.
he's having a time.
I'm glitching out. Dang. We're good now. So yes, the Yorha androids, who, funnily enough, I also made a homebrew for a lineage of Yorha androids.
Yeah, we have actually done that already. Why is one thing highlighted? That's so weird.
Yeah, it shouldn't be anymore. I fixed it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to request editing permissions to change it so it would be easier to read, but not an issue.
And there's a reason we picked this because, again, we've already made this. So, theoretically, you could have gone in there and just copied everything we did. And so, I mean, obviously, that's not what happened here, but the idea was, did they have a similar idea? Why is it different than Warforged? You know, does it have a place that makes it feel unique into the game? And is it fun? So, yeah, it's so, and for us, yes, it's fun to play. It's a great idea. It expresses its differences from something already in the game, the Warforged, and you have something really fun and unique before you even do the rest of your character creation. So, like, this is why we picked it, and let's go over it a bit.
Yeah. So obviously, the basic stuff. This looks like it was made for pre-2024 because it has the stat increase here. That's fine. Not gonna judge on that. Dark vision, also fine. Yours have the weird blindfold that does the opposite of what a blindfold does. But the big part here, obviously, you have artificial resilience, which is hey, you're a robot. You don't need to eat, drink, sleep, or worry about being poisoned to death because you don't have any internal organs unless you eat a mackerel.
Also, remember, eyes are the soul to emotions, and emotions are prohibited, so that's why they're covered.
Everything is prohibited. It's the same with system repair. You don't take a full 8-hour rest. You take a 6-hour rest. The Warforged have sentries rest. Same idea, but that's kind of the base here. That is fine. The fabricated flesh is one thing that separates it because you are really hard to distinguish from a normal person, as the Yorha androids are, unless you know what you're looking for, or you're using magic. And let's see, what's this part? This is the chips. I like the chips. Because that's part of the game. You insert chips for your build. Oh, I want to run really fast. We'll put a bunch of speed chips in. I want to be a walking tank in a miniskirt. You put a bunch of defense chips in. So these just let you customize what you want to do. I think you can only pick one chip. Yeah, one chip at a time, but it still lets you customize what you're doing. I liked it a lot. Okay, yeah. He says it was for 2014. Oh, and of course the optional, detonate your black box.
Optional.
Optional.
I do like it's there. I think it's a bit much for a race, but I do like it's optional.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't let you use that in my game unless you were like, no, I'm going to sacrifice myself fully.
I think you can get it at a lower level. Yeah, or a sacrifice. Yeah, I do. I agree with that as well. I do like that it exists, but it's a little much for a race.
10d6 at level 5, a bit, but still. That's more than a fireball, although it is also taking you down to 0 HP.
But you're not even dead. You're stabilized.
Yeah.
You're insta-stabilized, so it's a little.
Yeah. And then we get on to the sub-races, which I think there are 4 types. Is it stuff about?
Or which is interesting because you usually only see the 3.
Yeah. Don't worry about Black Cat. You're all good. I misread yours. Is it 4? It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. Okay.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect, and then an extra.
Yeah. So we got the attacker types, which is just basic. You get strength, you get two-handed weapons, and you have A2's berserk mode, where she just like puts her nuclear core into overdrive and goes a bit crazy. Just extra damage, which is fine. This is also a full subrace, not a lineage like the one I did. So these they need to be a bit more unique, and I feel like they are. Like none of them feel like they have really any overlap in terms of what their abilities do. My throat is dying. 1 second. This is also why it takes me so long to record. So I really like the attacker type. We also have the battle type, which seems more fitting for a fighter rather than like a barbarian. The art is from near... I was wondering where you got the art. I didn't ask, but I was wondering where you got the art. So that's reincarnation. Okay. Is that the gacha? Is that what that was?
Yes.
Okay. I never played it. Meant to, but...
I played it a little bit.
I think I was playing Genshin at the time. I didn't want to play another gacha. I had a bit too much gacha in my system. Anyway, the battler I like. They increase your speed. Different melee weapons. The attacker got two-handed and or heavy weapons. This one gets finesse or light, so you're more of a not fencer, but a dexterous fighter. And the flurry override is interesting. Giving you an extra attack, but it's on a different creature. No, but it's a limited time. So you get to make a couple extra attacks whenever you go through a fight. Not amazing, not broken. I mean,
you get 2 per long rest ever. So it's like 2 every 8 hours. It's not 2. It doesn't feel too bad.
Well, it's equal to your proficiency bonus.
Well, yeah, 2 to start, and then a little bit more later. Still up to 5 later.
Yeah, and it's 1 extra per turn.
And it's on your bonus action. So if you already get a bonus action extra attack, like a monk or something, then
just extra attack, bonus action. It's got a cost. It's not unlimited. So it's fine. The gunner type. The only issue with this is I don't know what 3 ranged weapons you'll choose unless your DM is going to let you use firearm rules. Longbow, shortbow, hand crossbow, maybe. I guess.
He's a gunner. Yeah.
Yeah.
A net. No.
Yes.
A really long net.
The dreaded net that has a range of 5 feet, but because it's a ranged weapon and you're in melee, you automatically have disadvantage with your net. Take crossbow expert so you can attack with a net without disadvantage. You can't even do that anymore because they made crossbow expert only work with crossbows.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack, you gain a +1 bonus to attack rolls against that creature until the end of your next turn. So if you hit them with 3 attacks, it's got a max of 3. You hit them with 3 attacks, you have a +3 on attack rolls against them, which is unique, I guess. I don't think I've seen an ability like this, really. That's like, hey, if you're consistently attacking the same guy, it's easier to hit that guy.
It's super focused. That's usually what a gunner does. They focus one area. You're playing support, so yeah, I like it.
I like it a lot. It's unique. It fits to the character type of hyperfixating on one target. Another dex increase, but again, that's what you use for ranged weapons. And then we have the one that's more suited for like a utility or tactical kind of character, which is
you look at it and it explodes.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. You play 9S and you break the game's code open, and you make all the combat as 2B irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because why wasn't 9S doing this when you were fighting in her realm?
Everything just explodes really, really, really fast.
Yeah. You get better dark vision because you're a scanner. You need to be able to see further.
Yep.
Let's see. Advantage on investigation and perception checks that rely on sight. That's fine. And then you can bonus action to do something that's almost like know your enemy from the Battlemaster Fighter, and just get some information about them.
And it's nothing that's terribly overpowered. And either GM gets to choose if they feel it's overpowered or a D6, and it's just random. So I like it both because there's both those options. Where if the GM feels like it'll break things by knowing, he could just tell you something else.
Yeah, and you can do it a few times, but it's a bonus action to do. And sure, learning their current hit points is useful, but if you learn their vulnerabilities and they don't have any, then you just wasted your ability.
Yeah.
So it's not.
But at least you know. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it'd be better for resistances, but it's still.
It's useful. It's not broken, and again, it has a cost and a limited number of uses. I think this is a great, racial option, species, if you're using the correct.
It just makes it so much fun, and there's so many things. Like, I know that was one of the reasons I wanted to play Aasimar, because it was like, wow, I can do all this as a race. And so if I never knew about Aasimar, I would have felt like, okay, maybe it's a bit more powerful, but like, Aasimar can fly, can do extra damage, there's different kinds. Like, this feels well within that, easily, and you have a specific idea of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Nothing feels overly powerful. It's just like, oh, this is kind of a neat thing I can do on top of everything else. And that's why I think we really liked it. And the fact that we already built one, and it had it was very similar in certain ways, but also very different in the ideas that he took. So he took the same thing that we've done and made it his own, clearly, with different ideas. It was really well done overall. And that's why they win. At least our choice. Again, these are just opinions. All of these were really good. I don't think I saw anything that was like, wow, this is actual garbage. There was stuff that obviously everything needed work. I mean, this is obviously one of the very few. This and Samuel's didn't really need work. They were pretty much perfect. Just Samuel's, I was worried about being fun to play, where this one is absolutely fun.
Yeah.
A lot of them were really good. I love the Circle of Flora personally. He liked the Way of Vectors. I mean, we had a couple that were very close in that top 3 for a while, but yeah, you have won the Moon River Dice. There's also another special thing in there. If you can go ahead and reach out to me or GMD, we will need your address. I really hope you're in the U.S. Please be in the U.S.
Yeah.
Somewhere nearby.
Can you tell us now if you're this yes or no? Are you in the U.S.?
I feel like we prefaced that in the announcement for the competition.
Or at least
it's
in Canada.
grad.
At least in Canada.
I didn't. That wasn't a basis. I'm up way past my bedtime. Oh yeah, it's like 11, 12 o'clock for you, isn't it? At least. But you won too. So just reach out to me, or we'll tag everybody that won in the in an announcement post.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. We wanted to try a dual stream,
my
where we both stream our.
Unhappy,
Yeah,
so I might.
He can't talk for more than 4 seconds, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna delay those streams for a bit, probably at least. We'll see.
We'll see. But thanks for coming along. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. We had like a consistent 12 viewers the entire time, which is honestly a lot for us.
Yeah, for streaming at least. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even play anything. We just sat here and yapped for.
Yeah.
Almost 3 hours.
But yeah, thank you for your support and everything.
Yeah, and we will.
I just woke up at 6:45 where I'm from. Oh boy. Wait, are you in Japan or Australia? That's the only time I know that's
or
like
did you
12
wake up
hours
at
ahead.
6:45 p.m.? Are you a night shift?
I mean, that's also possible. It's 45. Oh god, he's a full 6 hours ahead. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you for your support. Make sure, I mean, I'm sure you guys already are, but liking, commenting, really any of those types of things really help. I know it's annoying and you hear it from every YouTuber, but unfortunately it's the only way we can figure out to get the algorithm to help us grow. And, that's what we hope to do and keep bringing you stuff and, pay our editor more. So he does so much work and is criminally underpaid. So shout out to him as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll make the announcement here shortly. And if we come back, Philippines. Yes, that's it. Another Philippine friend.
Okay.
A different V.
Yeah. But just reach out to Metal, and we will see you guys later.